Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Crystalline Cards, and hail to the Italian and hail to Boom. Here we are again for this week's pick a card reading, and this week's question is, how does it feel now you're gone? Okay, so if you like my readings, you know it, don't forget to subscribe, like my videos, or you can leave me a comment, of course. And now we are starting right away with proposing to you the three piles of cards. Pile number one has the Bros chocolate on top of it. Pile number two have the Mars minibar on top of it. And pile number three has the Bounty minibar on top of it. And now it's up to you to choose which of the three piles suits your best. And I'll give you a moment to do so. And now we're here. We start with pile number one. So if you've chosen pile number one with the Bros chocolate on top of it, this is your reading. First, we have the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands. Then we have the Four of Cups, the Sun. Then we have, of the Wildwood Tarot, we have the Nine of Arrows, the card of dedication. We have the Forest Lovers, and then the last card, I'll leave it covered till last. Okay, so we start right away with the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands, a queen is passionate. Wands are the passionate suit. So queens may be fun. Queen of Wands may be fun to be around in the sense that she's magnetic and full of life. However, she is someone who is very much about energy and movement. Okay, so I guess this is you or the way he thinks you are. Okay, well, someone cheerful, someone passionate, but also fiery. And the negative side is that the Queen of Wands can lose her temper quickly and can act as a drama queen. So this should be you. And the second card is the Ten of Swords. Here she is. Well, this card is more devastating than she looks here, because here it looks, well, not so bad. But the Ten of Swords in other decks is a person lying on the ground with 10 swords stuck in him. So this is a more, well, a more beautiful sight. But nonetheless, Ten of Swords tells me that the relationship between you and him ended quite dramatic. It was a dark time for both of you afterwards. And now, as this is the final card, the number 10 card, it means that it makes you aware that things are going to change, that there will be a transformation. And you will have become aware at some level that things will get better. So the toxic part of the feelings that you felt needed to be killed before things get better. So what I mean is, it is the end of a dark period, but also a start of healing. All right? And the third card is the Knight of Wands. We had a Queen of Wands, and here is a Knight of Wands. So this is your ex-partner, the knight that belonged to you, the Queen of Wands. Now, wands are often about passion. I told you that a few minutes ago. They're also about will and about ego and dynamic energy. So the Knight of Wands has many interests. So he's not likely to settle down for the long haul anytime soon. So my guess is that your knight didn't plan to stay long after all. Although he loved you, and his passion makes him bored when he stays in the same place for too long, but still he loved you. Now, a Knight of Wands can be a great lover, a magnificent lover, but, well, there can be a horrible life partner. If you feel smothered by emotion, especially when you're a water sign, like for instance, how did it go? A Scorpio and other water sign. I don't know it in English. But like when you're a Scorpio or Cancer, for instance, well, those signs can be rather smothering. They are water signs. So if you are one of those, he could felt smothered by emotion or held down, okay? And well, that's putting out his fire. So this is not a good sign. And then we have the Four of Cups. This is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups, you can look at it as the card of temptation. Someone in the relationship, him in this case, may have been feeling as if they are stuck in a rut. There was no flow of inspiration or excitement anymore in the relationship for them. He felt like he needed to move on towards new fantasies, towards temptations. And like often is the case for this Knight of Wands, reality never adds up to fantasy. So they keep going. They keep going, hoping that the real thing will come. Of course, everybody has flaws, so the real thing never comes. But they keep going. Then the next card. The next card is the Sun. Now, the Sun, what does it mean? The Sun is what your ex expected to achieve. He expected to achieve sunny days, partying, having fun, just doing whatever he wants without someone else telling him what to do or not to do. Carpe diem, seize the day, being as free as a bird, finding passion again, excitement again. The excitement that got lost near the end of the relationship. So you know what his expectations were. Okay? Then the next card is the card of dedication, the Nine of Arrows. Now, it's nearly the same as the previous card. There are so many paths for him to choose of. So many paths. And not only does he want to be free and to make passionate memories of his new singlehood again, but at the same time, he wants to make valuable memories. We can long to be free, but at the same time, we want it to be more than just passing time like we please. As human beings, we always have the intention to make a difference, to make things special, to make things better than they used to be. And in doing so, you need some kind of dedication. And this is why the card is called dedication. So like I've said before, his intention is to make a difference. Then we have the next card, the Forest Lovers. Now, well, he's kind of a romantic, your ex. And the figures on this card are based on Robin and Marian, and the emphasis is on long-term commitment. And your ex also wants a long-term commitment with someone, but not just with someone, but with his soulmate. So this card tells me that he will always jump from relationship to relationship until he believes he found his soulmate. And then the last card. Okay, it's a card of journey. Now, well, like the card says, a journey, movement. This card is about him moving constantly, looking for someone he might or might not find in the future. So, how does he feel now you're gone? I can tell you that he thinks only positive things about you. Even when the relationship ended, he acknowledges that he is to blame. But you were, and I don't by any means want to insult you or make you sad, but you were, well, a resting point or a stop on his journey to find his soulmate. So he's not sad that the relationship is over. He has no regrets that he knew you either, because he liked you very much, but he's very excited to be on his way to his next stop in this journey. I'm sorry, I hope this makes sense to you. So if you should worry about how your ex is feeling, there's no need. I'm sorry, everything is okay with him. So this was your reading. I hope you can find yourself in it. And I wish you a lot of success. I'm sorry, I had to take a dip because there was something in my airways. Now we come to file number 2 with a mini bar of Mars on top of it. So if you've chosen pile number 2, this is your reading. And the first card, the Knight of Cups. Second, the Hangman, the Moon. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Then we have the Page of Vessels, depicted by an otter. And then we have the Queen of Arrows, depicted by a swan. And then the last card, I saw it already, but I leave it covered for you, okay? So, first card, Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a passionate, loving man who sweeps you off your feet. Now, knights are all about force, about swiftness. So you could say that this person's feeling of love and passion for you will coming on fast and strong. Sometimes, however, he can be immature and probably unable or unwilling to handle a grown-up relationship. He is a guy who can show you heaven, but also hell in a relationship. For instance, he does all the right things for you to make you believe that he is the ideal man, only to find out that he does the same sweet things for another woman as well. So this is only an example, but you understand what I mean, I hope. So that is the Knight of Cups. Then, the next card is the Hangman. I'm picking it up like this. Here is the Hangman. Now, the Hangman, you see it here, he's only here doing nothing. And that's the point of the Hangman. He is busy doing nothing. And then this is also his love for you. Your relationship grew so fast and now nothing. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get the relationship to the next level anymore. But he is doing something. You cannot see it, but he is doing something. He is assessing the situation. How does he feel now? He has reached the desired point to have you as his partner. Is this what he really wants? Is this relationship something that he wants above being free? So he's contemplating how he fits in this relationship, or in any relationship at all at that moment in time here. And he's afraid that he will miss out on something else that could also be fun. So those are internal things going on in his mind, okay? And then we have the next card. This is the Moon. The Moon card. Now, at this time here you see the Hangman in the Moon. He's a bit confused. He's feeling a bit confused. He's not sure what he's still feeling for you. And at the same time, he has that nagging feeling that he cannot miss out on other experiences and on other people. So some of the Knight of Cups might even flirt with other women at this time, just to feel if they still love you the same afterwards, or just to feel or to know if they are still attractive to others. Now, we see the Moon, usually when it's dark, so there is a veil of secrecy around it, and that's why I told about flirting, or even thoughts about flirting, and because at the same time, this card can refer to you, being very much in love and not acknowledging that not everything is so rosy as it seems, that there are things happening that you don't know. Okay? The next stage, we have here the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles could indicate that you need to be realistic about your expectations of a relationship, instead of being airy, fairy, romantic. She is a queen of realism. She is an earth queen who is very balanced, who is very grounded normally. She is also linked to the physical aspect of sex, so maybe the good sex made you fall for this guy as well. Okay? And for in other circumstances, this card tells you, be realistic, okay? Put your pink glasses off. And then we have the next card, it is the Ace of Pentacles. Now the Ace of Pentacles tells me that in his mind he wanted a new beginning, because aces are all about new beginnings, and he was ready for one. I don't know who ended the relationship between you in reality, but in this case it's not important who did end the relationship, because in his mind he was ready for a new chapter without you. And by this time the intense feelings have left the relationship. So the only thing that's left is the earthly thoughts. What will I do to make myself feel good and balanced again? Okay? Then we have the Otter, the Page of Vessels. Now, you see this otter on this card. This animal is very playful. It can move very swiftly on land, in water, and between those spheres. So now your ex now, this is him after your relationship is over. He's being playful. He has an open-hearted approach to life again. He will become the person again who shows their affection or joy in physical ways to whoever wants it. Okay? So, in other words, he's flirting, he's hanging around with others. And we have the Queen of Arrows, depicted by a swan. Beautiful card. Now, this tells me that this state of separation that exists brings with it sorrow, privation, misfortune, and you may need to break your old bonds with him and find new rivers, to stay with the picture, to find new rivers in which to swim if you are to move beyond this place of darkness and of loss and grief. So that's also what the Wildwood Companion book says. It seems to me that for you, the separation, the end of the relationship, was much harder to digest than it was for your ex. Traditionally, the Queen of Swords is the card of a sorrowful woman, so usually she's a widow who is stronger and more independent than most due to what she has lived through, but still you are grieving for this lost love. And then the last card, it is the card of Misfortune. Well, this card serves as a warning to the situation. Be cautious about moving forward. Don't go too quickly because you are the victim of a great misfortune and you have to heal first. Okay? Now, the tarot represents the spectrum of the human condition, the good, the evil, light, dark. So do not fear the dark aspects of human condition, but understand them. Try to understand them, the greatness of human accomplishment and also the ugliness that each of us is capable of. So it is clear to me that you've been the victim of a very intense love affair with a womanizer. When the relationship ended, he left you some serious scars. He himself feels guilty that he couldn't give you what you wanted most, and at the same time he is relieved that he is free again. So this is your reading. I hope that you will overcome this ordeal, and I wish you a lot of success. Okay, I'll see you next week. Then we are ready for stack number 3 with the bounty bar on top of it. Let's see what this pile has in store for us. We have the the 9 of Pentacles, sorry. We have the World card. We have the Chariot. Then we have, upside down, the 7 of Swords, upside down. Then we have also upside down the King of Wands. Then we have the Wanderer, also upside down, the 6 of Arrows, the card of transition. And then this last card I'll leave till last. So we start with the beginning. The first was the 9 of Pentacles. Here is the cards. Now the 9 of Pentacles, I think of this card as a self-made person. So in relationship questions, that person is there because they want to be, not because they feel dependent on someone. This might be the big catch card. If he saw you as a 9 of Pentacles, he saw you as someone highly desirable, mature, stable, resourceful, and someone who can take care of her own. And I guess this is you, or the way your now ex, saw you and still sees you. Then we have the World card. Now, this is the last card of the Major Arcana. It's card number 21, the last card of the Major Arcana. This means that the cycle ends here, that the transformation to a new level has begun. Everything changed from here on. Now, in some cases, this card could mean that your now ex admired you, however, he had to distance himself from you. This can be mentally, not always physical. Maybe this was a relationship that people didn't approve of, or maybe he was a bit fatalistic, thinking that you were too good for him. Or he was thinking the world of you, but at the same time he knew that your and his beliefs would clash. So it feels to me like it's an impossible or a forbidden love story. You know what I mean? Let's go to the third card. The third card is the Chariot. Now the Chariot is a card of movement. The Chariot moves. It's not always real physical movement, but it can mean emotional movement, because the two people in the relationship are having such a struggle to keep going in the same direction that the relationship is rapidly heading towards end. And I guess you have not been on the same page for quite some while before the breakup, and you have likely been working against one another in some way, which has of course been causing problems between you. But the Chariot is bound to move you forward in some way, either together or even apart. Now the next card is upside down, the Seven of Swords. Here she's upright. For you it is upside down, in the reverse. Now, the Seven of Swords reverse describes the situation as one or both of the partners who were not willing to deeply commit. Maybe there were external causes why there was a fear of not being willing to commit very deeply. For instance, if this would be about a relationship with somebody who is already committed, both parties might be afraid to really deeply commit because there are too many uncertainties about the secret relationship, which can end the relationship and leave the partners with deep sadness and grief. And that would be the fear for the karma, which might backfire when you do something devious or wrong. And then we have the next card, the King of Wands reversed. I show it to you when it is upright. For you it is reversed. Now, this is your ex-partner, this King of Wands. He's a planner, a dreamer, but also a man full of passion. He's wise though, and he knows what are the consequences for each action. He knows while dreaming and being passionate how far he can go, to not let his future go down the drain. Normally he doesn't let his heart lead his life but his head. And I guess that although he adored you, he used to cancel dates quite regularly. But that doesn't mean, I told you, normally a king doesn't let his heart lead his life but his head. In this case, well, it might have been the opposite. That he let his heart be led. He let his life be led by his heart and not his head in your case. While this is not his normal thing to do. So, although he adored you, he used to cancel those dates quite regularly, but that is not meaning that he doesn't love you enough, okay? Because he loved you really, really hard. And then we have here the Wanderer. Now the Wanderer card it's a card of the wildwood, this one, and it corresponds with the card of the Fool in the regular tarot decks. Now, this is the first card of the deck. It's normally the number 0. This is a card of brand new beginnings. So the Wanderer represents the wisdom or the courage to let go and to step into the void of the possible. So your ex knew it was time to move on. The fear of loss or failure may have made him doubt the validity of this change. Maybe he wanted to wait, or he hesitated at the critical moment because he felt secure. But the Wanderer is both an end and a beginning, so the journey has already come full circle. So what does it mean? We see that in the next card. It is upside down, the Six of Arrows, the card of transition. For you it is reversed. Now, to me it means that the transition, the full circle that has been made, was not very easy on him. You are gone. You are out of his life. He cannot get used to that. He feels he needs you. He feels like he's drowning not having you near him. So he stays stuck in sad thoughts, bad feelings, regrets. And it is very hard for him to go on without you. He misses having you. And then here we have the last card, the card of poverty. And this card, of course, here, poverty has nothing to do with money, of course. It's all about his feelings over his loss. You are his loss. He feels poorly. He feels unhappy now that you are gone. He misses you really, really bad. So, well, I already answered the question, I think. How does he feel now you're gone? Like I said, he's not happy with the fact that this relationship has ended. It feels like a loss, a defeat, and he misses you like hell. Okay? So it's a bit sad how it ended, because the feelings were certainly there. So this was this week's reading. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next week. Praise Antalion and praise Boon, and I love you guys. Bye bye. Bye.